Defense coordinator Aaron Glenn saying that Jack Campbell's transformed his body. He's a true middle Mike linebacker, green dot guy now.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's this. From M Live, Corey Woods tweets out, Dave Phipp, the special teams coordinator, on Michigan Panthers kicker Jake Bates, quote, I'm not going to go into any specifics on an individual player. And then Woods tweets, says he's aware of Bates' story and is happy for him. Colton Pouncey tweets, yes, Dave Phipp is familiar with Jake Bates' game.
Yeah, I don't imagine he's allowed to say too much. I mean, he's playing in a league right now that he's probably can't say anything. So I think it's a little unfair to ask him about
You
that.
can't. People are wondering why this guy bombing 60-plus yard field goals for the Panthers hasn't signed with the Lions yet or anybody. It's because with league rules, they can't until that season is over.
Which will happen in a few weeks.
Yep. So, look, the Lions are aware of him, as they should be.
He was also brought up in Burkett's mailbag.
Oh, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Do you remember what he said?
I believe Burkett said that he's somebody that they would certainly probably look at and bring in to compete. But don't be surprised if this is somebody that ends up going to the practice squad so they can develop him more. He's made, 15 out of 18 field goals this year.
Yeah, here we go. I do think the Lions will add another kicker at some point. And since I got a couple of questions on Jake Bates of the Michigan Panthers, he absolutely could be in the mix once the Panthers season is done. Bates has generated plenty of NFL interest with his big leg, and while he may need some development, he's made 15 of 18 field goals this season. He has NFL talent and will be looking for a chance to compete for a job when he signs in a couple of weeks. I mean, if you're a kicker and you're trying to find a spot in the league, you're looking for the teams that don't have a good kicker or don't have an established kicker or have a kicker that maybe lacks the length that Jake Bates has. Do you want to be on a winner? I mean, I guess if you're a kicker, it's probably more fun to kick important field goals in big games. So this could be an ideal situation for a Jake Bates.
Could be. Could be a bidding war.
Yep.
They have to have him in it at some point. Like, they got to get involved, right?
You feel like it's a total misstep if they don't.
So the worry was also that he was only doing this indoors at Ford Field, like the long field goals.
Yep.
The Lions' schedule has come out. They only play 3 outdoor games.
Yeah.
So, he probably can kick outdoors, but you only have to do it 3 times this year during the regular season.
Yeah.
Try him out. Get him in here. I don't know how, but
don't let this opportunity. It's going to feel like a massive missed opportunity if they don't get him in here.
As someone who's been around the Michigan program, 28-1 over there, do you remember watching James Turner kick?
Yes.
Were you impressed by James Turner?
Yes. He was in a tough spot, right? Because he was following Money Mooney, who was he was great from distance. He was great from short length. He had big field goals and won the Illinois game with a couple big field goals late. But James Turner, he didn't have the length that Jake Moody did, but he did have, he was good from 50 plus. He feels like a Badgley kind of guy to me, which is accurate, but maybe not quite as strong, but he's young in his career. He hit a huge field goal against Ohio State. And so, yes, Turner's good. Like, if he were coming back from Michigan, I would say Michigan has a good kicking situation. And, when you're that age, can you add length to your field goals? You can. You can. So, Turner will be in the mix there. I think you got a lot to do to replace an NFL guy that you're similar to.
Phipp apparently was talking about him and the Badgley situation as well. And he likes the leg strength from Turner, but also notes that Badgley has showed improved leg strength in the offseason. So working hard to extend his range.
And I suppose that's possible.
I feel like kicker is something that we're all paying attention to. And it's not insignificant if they make a move for someone other than Badgley. Because if they do, obviously they're thinking it's an improvement. And if they can improve the kicking game, you're talking the difference of winning and losing sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's not insignificant.
No, I hear you. I feel like the fans probably worry about it more than they do internally. But I made the comment. Look, they sold me on taking Sione Vaki if he's just a special teams guy with a 4th-round pick. That's quite a resource to use, and they probably see him as more than just a special teams guy, but they've really praised what he means to their coverage units, and yet they didn't address kicker, which would, I think, be a more important special teams thing to focus on than your coverage team. But, hey, most of what they've done has been right, so
hey.
I'm yelling at clouds here a little bit, but.
Yeah, but do you think that if they had a kicker that they really trusted and believed in, that Dan Campbell would be less aggressive in certain areas? Or do you think this is just his DNA? He's going for it anyway.
It's a great question. He really sells it that it's in his DNA, which is probably what you would do even if you're only doing it because you don't have faith in the kicker, which, you don't want to come out and say, well, we go for it on 4th down because our kicker stinks. We go for it on 4th down because we don't think our kicker has that length. You don't say that publicly. So you don't want other teams to know it. You don't want to erode the confidence in the guy that you have because you might need him to make some big kicks. But, boy, Campbell really does sell like he goes for it on 4th down all the time because Campbell wants to go for it on 4th down all the time.
He does.
Like, distance wasn't an issue on the extra point in Dallas. When he decided to go for 2 again.
Oh, yeah. That was just
after the penalty.
Yeah, they're trying to win the game.
He may have been on tilt at that point.